I don't know if you can tell by the everything about me, but I don't exercise much. Back in March though, I wanted to see just how quickly I could turn myself around. The question was simple: how fast can I run a mile with 1 month of prep time? To start my prep, I had to leave my bedroom.
I just bought new shoes, and now we're gonna go and run a mile at the track. All right, here we go.
My goal for day one was just to get a benchmark. After all, I hadn't run a mile straight in years. Being me, I expected to get somewhere around 7 minutes for this first attempt. And then I actually started running. After the first lap, I felt okay. The second lap, I remembered why I stopped running track in the 8th grade. The third lap, I walked for half of it, and the fourth lap had me nearly throwing up. Good run!
Just finished my first mile. I got an 8-minute, 40-second run. Oh, I feel sick.
8 minutes and 40 seconds. Oh my god. I have some work to do, obviously, but this was actually a pretty solid first day. And conveniently, this was the first day of spring break, which meant that I had a week straight to run as much as I wanted. Even more conveniently, my family got a new treadmill the day I started this challenge. I am nothing if not a planner. For the next week, every morning was the same. Wake up, doom scroll on TikTok for an hour, get out of bed, stretch, turn on the treadmill, run, walk, run, walk, run, walk. You get the idea. I went at least 2 miles a day on the treadmill and tried to incorporate as much running and walking into my daily routine as I physically could. As the days went on, I would increase my speed more and run more than I walk. I also tried to take decent care of myself during this week. Good hygiene, duh, but also eating healthier and staying more active whenever I could. Side note, but one of the first things I realized when I started running was just how much I hated the feeling of my sweaty hair on the back of my neck. Instead of just pulling it back like a normal human being, boom, gone. I am committed. Anyway, all of this led up to March 9th, the final day of spring break.
I've been running for a week straight every single day. I'm gonna go and time my mile again.
I did my normal stretches, turned on the treadmill, and started my run. After my 8:40, I wasn't really sure how this run was gonna go. An 8:30 would be nice, maybe even an 8:15. But at the end of that mile, I don't think I was ready for the time I got.
I'm currently on the floor. I just ran at 7:30. My whole body hurts a lot.
1 minute and 10 seconds off my mile time in a single week. Maybe I am built different. I went back to school that night a whole new man. If I could take off a minute with just a week of prep, imagine what I could do with a month. Unfortunately, I wasn't going to find out. On March 10th, I woke up in the morning to go on a run, only to realize I had left my sneakers at home. All I had at school with me were a pair of Converse and a pair of flip-flops. Please excuse me while I wish I could say that I made the 3-hour round trip home. I wish I could say that I went to the store and bought a brand new pair of sneakers. But at heart, dear viewer, I am a cheap man. If I own a functioning pair of sneakers, I will not be buying new ones. But believe it or not, that is not where the story ends. I was supposed to go home on March 29th for Easter break. That would give me 3 days to somehow improve my time at least a little bit. In the meantime, I did what I could to maintain my improved health, walking for miles every single day. You guys ever heard of fruit? Thanks to the running challenge, apparently I'm an apple guy now. I should get back to the video. Nothing else really happened over these weeks because, well, nothing could. Allow me to whisk you all the way into the glorious future of March 29th. I got him!
I have 3 days left where I can run. I think my goal is just to get anything below a 7:30.
With 3 days to go, a new goal has been set. In the beginning of March, I was able to bring down my mile time by a minute in 9 days. With only 3 days of training, could I somehow get back to that 7:30? I don't know. I almost threw up after my first 7:30, and that was with a week of prep time. But hey, only one way to find out. Over this weekend, I got back into my old routine. Get up, run, walk, run, walk, run, walk, run, walk. I pushed myself more than I ever had before, and I was feeling it everywhere. But I had to keep going. I only had 3 days. This brings us to March 31st, the final day of the month. While my family was downstairs preparing for Easter brunch, I was on the treadmill for one last run.
Here we go.
During my last timed run on March 9th, I ran a consistent 8 miles per hour for 7.5 minutes, equaling exactly 1 mile. In all of my running practice leading up to the 31st, I hadn't gone past 8 miles per hour even once. If I wanted to beat 7:30, I was gonna have to break that barrier today. Around minute 3 or 4 is when my breathing starts to get bad. My chest tightens up and my throat feels like it's choking. I'm used to this though, and I have to remind myself I'm almost halfway through. Minute 5, still on 8 miles an hour, and my legs are really starting to feel the burn. Now we're at minute 7. I'm almost done. Sweat is dripping down my back. I can feel myself about to throw up, and I am belting songs in my head to try to distract myself. It's barely enough. I am moments away from finishing my mile. I am nearly out of the woods. In those final moments before the finish line, I remember something. I have been on a consistent 8-mile-per-hour pace for the entire run. Somehow, right here, right now, I can break 7:30. And so, with just a few seconds left, I press the 9.
I'll talk about it later. But I just ran a 7:29. Oh, I'm so damp.
Because I ran those final moments at 9 miles an hour instead of 8, I ended with a final time of 7:29. In 1 month, but really in 12 days, I improved my mile time by 1 minute and 11 seconds. It's still not great, but man, what a start. I'll see you next month.